in organized religion, you know?
Yeah, you're talking to the preacher's kid. My granddad was my father figure, and he was a Presbyterian preacher and a closeted medium. And he taught me very early on that this is natural and it is nothing to be afraid of, to be able to see colors and lights around people. And I went to every funeral he did just to see the person who had crossed over, just to see them show up and look great. And to have that reference of this isn't against anyone or anything as a young child, it really set me up to have no fear. So that was a gift.
So, it's funny. Last night I was out to dinner with my sister and my mother, and I'm on the west coast of Florida now. And my sister spent the entire dinner talking about this TV show she's watching. It's something, I don't watch these TV, so I don't know what it is, but it's something about where they track demons and devils. I don't know what the show is, but she was describing this house where there was this negative energy that was ruined somebody's eyes, and another person was hemorrhaging inside, and they filmed all of this, and eventually the guy who is the host of the show burned the house down. I don't understand stuff like this, because Jean never spoke about the devil. It did not exist for him. And so when people talk about the fear of, you open the door to the devil, there are demons there, I don't believe this, Susanne. You know?
Well, here's the truth. It is very smart to ground and center yourself before opening up. It's like putting a little burglar alarm sticker on your aura that says, don't mess with me, I'm too much trouble. But the fact of the matter is, you should be much more leery of the energies of the living people than anything in the spirit realm, because I call it scary bad evil. Scary bad evil, all one word. TV shows have brainwashed people into thinking that that's even a possibility. I think if you go out ghost hunting and looking for trouble and baiting the spirits, you might stumble across something icky, but other than that, your good intentions, your loving heart is the best protection ever.
Well, I agree with you 100%. And, okay, so now I'm going to put on my shrink hat. I really believe that whatever people call these demons and dark energies are the externalization of our own unexpressed and unwanted negative feelings. And it's a defense mechanism. I don't want to admit I've got a dark part in me, which we all do. And so I disown it, and then I externalize it, and it's become a devil. And the devil's going to get me, and the devil's going to punish me for my evil, dark feelings. But amazingly, you just own, we're humans. We have negative feelings. Suddenly, demons and devils and dark forces don't exist. And I do believe it's a projection and externalization of parts of ourselves that we don't want to own.
That is exactly what poltergeist activity is. And I don't go ghost hunting, but I've had to help people in my life who are very important to me. And I've seen where someone who was doing crack and was very angry and was lying and stealing, and it actually created a poltergeist in the house that we had to work on and get rid of as they went to rehab.
There you go. So it's really your own energy field that gets put out. And I also call it spiritual call blocking. So we have the ability to discern, right? I don't want to take a call, don't take the call. Maybe there are less evolved spirits. I don't have to talk to you any more than I have to talk to you on the earth plane, Your heart knows the difference between good and less evolved and more loving, less. So you can just use your spiritual call blocking.
That's excellent. I'm going to borrow that term and attribute it to you because I think that's brilliant. But I have to tell you though, that's only part of fear of people that prevents people from making the connection. Sometimes the even bigger fear is they're going to fail. It's not going to work. I'm going to be sadder because it didn't work. And what I want to say to people about that is it's very simple. You need to know that your loved one is practicing and working on making the connection too. We think too often that dying makes us all knowing and all powerful, but they actually have to work to make the connection too. But it's like play. It's fun. They love to do it. There are halls of reunion that have staging areas where there are those in the spirit world whose job it is to help get the dream visit through, to help get the meditation visit through. And they have a blast with this. So just know it takes practice and don't give up.
So, and it's so funny because, we're all one family. We're all one soul family. Jean brought you and me together. Jean brings everyone who needs to come into the Love Club. And every single person says, oh, my husband or my partner in spirit went to a clinic in the spirit realm run by a man named Jean Pain, and he's teaching them how to connect their loved ones in spirit to me so that I can show them how to reconnect back to their loved ones. This is what's happening. It's amazing,
We're all working together, and that's the great thing. Just knowing that they're working with you to communicate, and if you get a glimpse of them in meditation, let that be enough for now, and know that with practice, you can sustain a longer connection.
Right. That's beautiful and so reaffirming. And, I like to use analogies like you do, and I always say, look, when you go to the gym to power lift, you don't go to 500 pounds right away. You try to do that, it falls on your foot. So you start with a little weight, and then you build the psychic muscle, and it gets stronger and stronger, and your skills build.
We do a lot of strength building with my students and I meet with them in very small groups of like 6 or 8, and we meet through Zoom technology, which is a lot like Skype. And I'll tell you, about half of them think they may want to be professional mediums, but the other half, they're doing it to get stronger, to make their own connection. So I've seen a real shift in that, where everybody used to want to go and be a medium and be on TV to, no, I'm doing this for me. And I think it's awesome.
Right. And, because here we are, we just came through the holidays, because they're a part of your life. They want to be a part of your everyday life, your holiday table, your dinner table. Take me out on the walk with the doggy, go with me, throw the ball for me, take me to our kids' games. I'm still wanting to be there and rooting for our kids, even if I'm in the spirit realm, And I
also think it's really smart to keep a journal, a diary of those signs, symbols, synchronicities, your dream visits. And so when you do have like a dry spell, you can go back, and it's kind of like looking at old pictures, and it also teaches you trends and patterns in how the communication works. I had a client contact me just around Thanksgiving saying, I'm so glad I kept that diary of contact with my son, because I now realize he seems to contact me better on a full moon. And I said, she says, does that make sense to you? And I says, it makes sense in this context because you're keeping notes. So go with that. Work it so that you're meeting in meditation or inviting a dream visit on a full moon. And I'm not saying that's true for everybody, but it seems to be a pattern for her. And she's excited. And it's just experimental and fun.
Through observing, you start to see. And then how I'm very big on establishing an actual out loud verbal dialogue, because then you're proactive and you're not like a beggar with a cup waiting for a sign to drop in the cup, and then you feel all miserable and abandoned and bereft. I'm an orphan, and then that lowers your vibration and makes it more difficult to connect. Whereas you just step in and resume the conversation, you're more proactive and you're more in charge of the discussion.
Oh my gosh, I was just saying to somebody the other day, I walked out in front of a crowd of 600 people to do a mediumship demonstration, and I just had to stop and say, I can feel you who are out there saying, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, it's got to be me, it's got to be me, because you're putting up a brick wall of energy by being desperate. I want you to just take a big breath, release it, and just be grateful for whatever happens here today. And I could feel like some of them did and some of them didn't. So, it's the desperation does you no good, really.
Let's take a break. We'll talk more about it when we come back in segment 2. Be back with you in a moment on Love Never Dies Radio.
Omega Institute, offering workshops, retreats, and online learning dedicated to awakening the best in the human spirit. For 40 years, Omega has been a gathering place for great thinkers, creative talent, spiritual teachers, and social visionaries. With 390 workshops to choose from, Omega offers something for everyone. Located in Rhinebeck, New York, just 90 miles north of New York City, Omega's natural environment and quiet pace allow for extraordinary experiences to unfold. Learn more at eomega.org.
Are you ready for the quantum age?
Humanity's next step in evolution?
Dream Vision 7 Radio Network invites you to the extraordinary platform of evolutionary voices for the quantum age.
Let's explore. Learn more about this upcoming age where we bridge science with spirituality.
Where potentiality meets reality.
Where we take compassion into action.
Our trailblazers and visionaries will ask the whys, the what-ifs, while igniting continuous possibility.
Come along with us into an age beyond what we know today, where we can grow together in unity consciousness.
Experience evolutionary voices for the quantum age, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern on DreamVision7Radio.com.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
You're listening to Love Never Dies with Dr. Jamie Turndorf. If you yearn to get along better with your life partner or spouse, friends, family members, and even coworkers, Dr. Turndorf's book, Kiss Your Fights Goodbye, Dr. Love's 10 Simple Steps to Cooling Conflict and Rekindling Your Relationship, shows you how to turn conflict into connection for a lifetime of lasting love. Find out more about Kiss Your Fights Goodbye at AskDrLove.com. This is Love Never Dies with Dr. Jamie Turndorf. This show is for you, the listener. Once again, here's Dr. Turndorf.
Welcome back to Love Never Dies Radio. I'm talking with my beloved Susanne Wilson, the Carefree Medium, about how to fall in love with life by understanding death. So right before we took the break, you said something really important, Susanne, about how people can block the reconnection by being very, very desperate.
Yes. And that includes people who are wondering, why am I still here when my loved one is over there? And I can't tell you how many times I've been asked, when can I finally die? When can I finally go home and be with them? That is a block to communication and to sensing their presence as well. Because when you're still here in the physical world, it means there's still something your soul needs from here, whether it's to learn a spiritual lesson, or to be a teacher, or to have a teacher, or whatever it is. Just know that your loved one on the other side is cheerleading for you, is rooting you on. And it actually disappoints them when they're like, oh, I just want to join you. I just want to be with you. I just need a sign every day. But you can flip that really quick into, look, I'm grateful to have this opportunity to be here. I'm grateful for any sign or communication I get with you. Then that gives your loved one in spirit bragging rights. They have discussion circles on the other side where they talk about their loved ones on earth and what they're going through, and they love to brag about how well we're doing. So just flip the script into, I need to go home, I'm desperate, to I'm glad I'm still here. Because once you do get to the other side, and the two of you, or you and your whole family, everybody that's over there, sit down and talk about earth, you want to make them proud. You want to make yourself proud that you've finished your natural life here. You did the best that you could. You gave and received as much compassion as possible, and you'll be happy you did.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And another thing that I've been looking at a lot, and this has come up a couple of times in the Love Club with more than one woman, around suicide. So 2 different women in the Love Club had a spouse that suicided, and they're left behind holding the bag. And they are so furious